music, and our big question was, how does music affect us? Now, Carrie and I have been friends for a while, but our friendship really blossomed freshman year. Band allowed us to connect with each other and become best friends in the process. And we wanted our senior project to show the power music has between people. And we challenged ourselves further by using music as a bridge between the generation gap between teens and elders by putting together a recital at Ondawa. So I found a TED Talk that captured the essence of what our project was trying to portray, and Benjamin Zander is the speaker, and he's also a conductor of an orchestra. And in the TED Talk, he's doing a lesson and a performance of a Chopin piece.
Now, the other thing I want to do is to tell you about you. There are 1,600 people, I believe. My estimation is that probably 45 of you are absolutely passionate about classical music. You adore classical music. Your FM is always on that classical dial. And you have CDs in your car, and you go to the symphony, and your children are playing instruments. You can't imagine your life without classical music. That's the first group. It's quite a small group. Then there's another group, bigger group. These are the people who don't mind classical music. You come home from a long day and you take a glass of wine and you put your feet up, a little Vivaldi in the background doesn't do any harm. That's the second group. Now comes the third group. These are the people who never listen to classical music. It's just simply not part of your life. You might hear it like second-hand smoke at the airport, but and maybe a little bit of a march from my come into the hall, but otherwise you never hear it. That's probably the largest group of all. And then there's a very small group. These are the people who think they're tone deaf. Amazing number of people think they're tone deaf. Actually, I hear, well, my husband is tone deaf. Actually, you cannot be tone deaf. Nobody is tone deaf. If you were tone deaf, you couldn't change the gears on your car, the stick-shift car. You couldn't tell the difference between somebody from Texas and somebody from Rome. And the telephone, if your mother calls on their miserable telephone, she calls and says hello. You not only know who it is, you know what mood she's in. You have a fantastic ear. Everybody has a fantastic ear. So no.
Okay. Now that was really important to us because we were going into Ondawa, which is the retirement home, well, nursing home for the elders on the reservation. And we were kind of worried about how they would react to some of the music we chose to perform for them, because we had bagpipes to piano to oboe to saxophone. And it was just an odd combination. But after we saw this, we realized that regardless of what group you're in, out of those 4 groups, you're still able to relate to the piece of music regardless. And he explains it really well throughout this video. If you have time, I suggest to watch the entire thing. He analyzes the piece, and he explains why it connects us, like with the impulses, which conveys like the emotions in us, based on the impulses of the music, meaning the emphasis on which chords or which notes. And I'm trying to find the next clip, but that's through that entire section that I'm skipping.
Yeah, when Bree and I were watching this video for the first time, we were watching it in the library, and we didn't have headphones in. We were just listening to it, and we were just laughing our heads off the entire time. He's really a funny guy, and especially if you either know a thing or two about music, or if you've played, or if you have a sibling or whatever that has played an instrument, or maybe you were forced to sit through piano lessons when you were little, it's really fascinating to listen to him talk about like piano lessons and everything else when you were little.
And then almost. But then also with the impulses and everything, he also talks about how music changes in you while you grow. So he starts at piano lessons around like age low note, so it sounds heavy, and then he just shows how music can change you over time by playing how he assumes a kid of that age would play. Okay, it's almost.
It's almost ready? Okay. Sorry for the delay, guys. It's a really interesting video. We really want you to watch it, but we have a lot of videos in our presentation, so it just takes a long time to buffer and get everything all loaded up.
How long is your clip?
How long is the clip? 3?
It is about 40 seconds.
I bet you're buffered enough.
Yeah,
Okay.
just play it.
Now, you may be wondering. You may be wondering. You may be wondering why I'm clapping. Well, I did this at a school in Boston with about 7th graders, 12-year-olds. And I did exactly what I did with you, and I told them and explained to them the whole thing. And at the end, they went crazy, clapping. They were clapping, I was clapping, they were clapping. Finally, I said, why am I clapping? One of the little kids said, because we were listening. Think of it, 1,600 people, busy people, involved in all sorts of different...
Oh. Buffering. Yeah, because we had just finished playing a piece of it on the piano.
Summarize it.
Just summarize it.
Okay, I'm just gonna summarize the rest for you. But in this section, he was talking about how 1,600 children, little kids and their teachers, were connected through this piece of music because they had a better understanding of it, and they got all excited because they heard this piece. And then he goes on to explain another segment, and it was, he was in Ireland, and there was a guy that came up to him, and he sat through the TED Talk and everything, and he told him, my brother committed suicide, I think it was 5 years ago, and I haven't cried once for him until I heard that piece of music. And to us, that was really kind of moving, and it showed the point we're trying to make. Through a piece of music that you can find happiness or sadness, and it just stirs emotions in you. And because this brother, to the one he lost, because he got this emotion, he formed a bond with Benjamin Zander because he brought it out in him. And then,
Alright, so Live for Music is a song that I really enjoy, and it's by Sean Cannon, or his real name is Sean Barrows. He competed on American Idol in season 7. I don't know how he did, I've never seen the results from that. But he also has a foundation, also entitled Live for Music, and it fights to keep music in schools because he was very passionate about music. And every time I listen to this song, it makes me happy and makes me want to dance, and I love this song. And I think it really captures the essence of performing well, because the first 2 lines of the song and the first 2 lines of the chorus are like, take center stage and lose it, and show the world you live for music. You know, take your passion for music, or your passion for basketball, or your passion for whatever, and show the world that you love what you do. And it also mentions using music to overcome obstacles, and you can see that in the first stanza of the song. Because, especially for me, I use music as an escape, and I use music as a way to communicate when I feel like I can't, when it's either too emotional or too painful or whatever. I physically can't bring myself to talk about it. So I use my music, and you know, it says that, like, you think that I'm terrified, but I'm not scared of you. When you have your instrument or whatever you're using to perform, you're not terrified anymore, you're not scared, you're just present, and you're showing everyone what you can do. And I'm going to play a small segment of the music video for you, and I think that it's a really great video because Sean Cannon features Drum Corps International, which is kind of the professional football of marching band. And Bree and I have been a member of the Mount Pleasant High School marching band for 4 years now. And like, I love the activity, I think it's great. And even though we never get the chance to march in Drum Corps, it's so much fun to watch them. So I hope you enjoy this small segment. Just go. Yeah.
Taking broken dreams and use it. Show us you live for music. You punch my face for the last time. You knock me down so you think that I'm terrified, but I'm not scared of you. I'll jump over your head to escape. I'll let the wind carry me away to new blue skies. When rocks are pouring down like rain, I wanna be the one holding the flame. The distant voice that knows my name is flooding my soul. It says, taste the stage and lose it. Show what you live for music. Take it for a dreams and use it. Show us you live for music.
And that's just a little bit of it for you.
Okay. So, for those of you who don't know, my grandmother had developed dementia, and she actually lived in Ottawa, and that was kind of another reason why I chose to schedule the rehearsal there. And she passed away my sophomore year, but my grandmother was the one who encouraged me to stay in music because of her involvement in her church and her husband, who played the piano and guitar. So I was doing research on the psychological part of connections formed by music and discovered an article on the Alzheimer's Foundation site. And in this article, we found that when you play a piece of music that could be from a person with Alzheimer's or dementia's like favorite decade or so, like their favorite type of music, it can shift their mood, manage their stress-induced agitation from being confused, stimulate positive iterations, facilitate cognitive function. And for those of you who don't know, cognitive just means the mental processes such as attention, language use, memory, perception, problem solving, creativity, and thinking. So it lessens the confusion for them. And it also helps them coordinate motor movements, and it requires little to no cognitive or mental processing to listen to the music that helps them actually so much. And luckily for us, Underwood also has a wing dedicated specifically to those with memory loss issues. So we were able to perform for them and hopefully help them for that period of time while we were there.
Okay, connections is a really big section for me because I've believed for a while that music can help connect us to the world and to other people. And I have a couple of examples for to explain that actually. This year for Solo Ensemble, which is a competition where classical musicians go and compete and we get first, second, or third division ratings. I wanted to do a piece that I'd never heard before. I wanted to do a piece that I was passionate about, and none of the pieces that we had in the school really excited me. And so I did what a lot of teenagers would do. I went to Google and I searched and I searched and I eventually found the piece Romance by Nielsen, and I didn't know what it sounded like. And I went to YouTube and I just searched for it and I found this video. And after listening to it, I was completely entranced by this piece. This girl in this video, I will never meet her. Never, I probably will never ever even talk to her at any point in my life. Her name is Paulina. I will give you money if you pronounce that last name. And, I performed the same piece as her. And I think that's really crazy. I played the exact same piece that she did over in Italy, and I've never talked to her. You go to YouTube and you find videos of a girl in India playing the same piece. And so it's crazy to think that I'm connected to all these people across the world just through this one piece of music. So I'm going to play a little bit of it for you. I got the CD from one of my old teachers. I got lessons from her over at Central, and she was a student of Dr. Binkley, and she got it from Dr. Binkley. And so I was I was probably a freshman when I got the CD. And so already at that age, I was connected to the professor that I will have next year. And it's crazy when I think that maybe, I don't know where Dr. Binkley got it from. She might have bought it, or maybe she got it from somebody out in Denver where she performs every so often. So my connections could keep going and going, and I'm never going to meet them. And they don't even know that I know who they are, and they don't know that they're connected to me, but they are, and I think that's really cool. Yeah. All right, so like all the connections in the world will help Rhea and me give back to the community. But it took us a while to figure out what we were going to do. Eventually, we decided that we were going to perform it on one, as Bree's already said. And I'm just going to show you a little clips of each performance. Everybody did really great. I was really impressed with how well everybody did, actually. I didn't give them much notice. I gave them like 2 weeks. And Kat Lee learned my accompaniment in a week. And she did really well. And I was really impressed with all the work that they did. If you would like to hear the segments in full or like to listen to them later or anything, I encourage you to find them. My username for YouTube is pandachick1024@gmail.com. Don't judge me, I made it when I was 10. So you can go ahead to the first video. It's me playing Romance by Nielsen, which you just heard. I won't play you much, just, hey, you gotta put that. Yeah, I didn't zoom into them, so just the opportunity to play their own solos. So this is Kat Lee performing Arabesque by Debussy. Then I think that one's done, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if you can skip it. Nick Hall actually performed Hey Jude by the Beatles. He wanted to be different, and he didn't want to perform it, so I said, fine, you don't have to. And if you'd like to listen to him live in person, he's performing at the senior show on Thursday. He made me put this in here. You can go and listen to him at 7 o'clock, and he is going to be playing Hey Jude by the Beatles. So you can go ahead and click the button. He's been playing bagpipes since he was 10 years old, and he competes, and he's actually in the second highest level he can be without being a professional. So he's really great, and we were kind of worried about bagpipes and dementia patients and wondering if that was even a good idea. So he put on a little performance for us in the auditorium one day, and we were just like blown away from how great he is. So here's a little bit of Ben Elliott with his bagpipes. She performed 2 solos for me just because she's awesome. She's from South Korea, and I hate the fact that she's leaving at the end of the year. But she's really fantastic, and if you go to the senior show, you'll be able to listen to her because she's accompanying Nick, and it's really great. So we can play a little bit of that. Yeah, I'm gonna skip this video, but we were really fortunate that Anuad had a baby grand piano. Otherwise, we would have had to transport a piano. And yeah, so again, if you'd like to find them, they're under panchick1024@gmail.com. Again, please don't judge. So what did we accomplish from the recital? Like, how did the recital affect the residents, and how did it affect us? Well, I mean, I guess we got a pretty cute picture out of the deal. There's Ben's kilt and everything else. I kind of made him dress up for me. But we also got the chance to play our music for some really extraordinary people. The elders really loved us, and they were really grateful that we performed. And here's just some things they said. They told us to come back soon. I was amazed that they liked us and that they wanted to hear us again, but they couldn't get enough of us. And one of the elders was really disappointed that he didn't get to hear me because he showed up late. And so he kept asking me questions about how I played and what I played and what my instrument is and everything like that. They kept smiling. They were thrilled that we were there, and I think it kind of made their day that we took the time to come and see them. We can go to the next one. One of the guys kept giving us music tips. I don't know I don't know his background in music, and I don't know if he even is authorized to give me tips on how to play my instrument, but nevertheless he did, and he kept telling us like the importance of practice and blending and breathing and embouchure, and I mean, he was going to town just giving me pointers and everything, and I thought that was really great. And we can go to the next one. They told us to form a band of a bagpipe, a saxophone, an oboe, and a drum set. I still don't know how well that's going to sound, but I'm kind of convinced just to form it and then just to go back and be like, we got you covered, man. But I'm really grateful for everybody that performed with me. Everyone that came out and helped out. Kat is supposed to be in that picture, but she had already left. Bree couldn't perform with me, sadly. She had something else going on that day. But everybody else pitched in and really came through for me, so I'm really glad for all of them. And so, you can go to the next one. So, to finish up, Bree and I have been surrounded by music since we were in 7th grade and maybe even earlier. And as you can see with the pictures, a lot of our friendship exists because of music. And I'm glad that for everything Bree and I can turn to music together. Music affects us in far greater ways than just giving us something to fill the silence. It connects us, it promotes camaraderie. It gives us common ground, and it gives us something to be passionate about. Music gives us a way to express yourself without having to worry about what others might say or think. So next time you see someone on stage, listen. Really listen. And let what they have to say come through. So thank you for listening, guys.